What does it mean to become enlightened? If individuality is all about the journey of our becoming true, what does the journey entail? The mind is a tricky thing because it can convince us of our own genius, that we are in fact standing in for God as the sole creator, whilst leading us through the primrose path. And then when it all turns out illusory, we come to view life as just a great big game. What is it to have complete sovereignty of the mind? To draw your own limits, knowing very well that we could be our own hero and devil, our own friend and enemy. And when you've claimed the place on the world stage, every microscopic decision becomes consequential. So you owe it to not only yourself, but to humanity to walk an honest path and to claim complete sovereignty of the mind, for the sake of your own integrity and your becoming. Kris Jenner has Gemini on the South Node. South Node energy is pretty much what we're familiar with and our comfort zone. It's also about our upbringing and how it shaped us. For instance, with Kris's mom, it was about appearances and striking an impression, and it was about who we associated with, and obviously they like to associate with people of certain status. Even now with the Kardashians, we see that same theme very apparent. They achieved a certain level of success and fame because to them it's all about the connections and hanging around influential people to become more influential themselves. Geminis are known for being social butterflies. They're good with socializing, but they also understand the importance of making connections for their own advancement. There's nothing inherently bad about this because I've heard it in high school and college. It really is about the connections that we make in life. If you're interested in music and you have a connection with someone in the music business, you have a higher chance of making it than someone who has no connections. It's just the way the world has been operating. These are the type of people to justify a total sellout in the name of social advancement. Also, the thing with the South and the North Node is that it comes down to the balancing of the two for your utmost spiritual growth and eventually becoming enlightened and transcending. With Gemini on the South Node, they tend to be busybodies. They love having things to do, keeping busy, and being on the go. These people make very good businessmen or women. They know how to negotiate or persuade people to their liking. Obviously, Kris Jenner is a prime example of this. With Gemini's ability to manage different avenues, she's able to manage 6 kids' careers as well as able to persuade her kids to make risky business moves. Gemini on the South Node is also very concerned with the people in their lives and the trivial things of our mundane reality. Kris just happened to have her 6 kids and chose to make them her life focus. Aside from managing her kids, Kris Jenner started a church. While this lifestyle, does support her North Node in Sagittarius, which is all about higher thinking, faith, God, and our higher selves, the reason behind why she started the church to begin with is evidence that, she's still stuck in her Gemini South Node of lower thinking. There's lots of evidence that support her reason behind starting a church being a way to evade tax. It's like she took a step forward in her soul's spiritual direction as a way of outsmarting the system. Whether this is ethical or spiritually furthering, you decide. I also want to mention another very well-known business magnate that has Gemini on the South Node, Bill Gates. Obviously, Bill and Kris have very different business avenues, but still, this jack of all trades mentality and being able to excel in any business field is very apparent in both personalities. And now we're going to go off on a little rant. I came across a lot of people that claim they hate Geminis and Scorpios. Now, while Kris Jenner isn't a Gemini, she has Gemini on the South Node, but her actual zodiac is Scorpio. In honoring astrology, I just want to say, no one's energetic signature is just composed of one zodiac sign. No one is just one sign. So when people generalize, it actually dishonors astrology as a practice, and it's not fair to any Gemini or any sign really. Gemini energy is seen as being fake, shallow, trivial. So let's explore why this is the case. Gemini rules the third house, and the third house is where our neighbors and our siblings reside. It's the conversations that go on a daily basis. Gemini modalities air, and that's why these people are known for being excellent communicators. They always have a good circle of friends, and they're easy to socialize with. And most of all, they love being around people. On the other end of the spectrum, you have Sagittarius on the North Node. While Gemini energy is the superficial, ongoing transactions of our daily lives, Sagittarius is way beyond that. It deals with the bigger life questions. It encompasses beyond our immediate family, our neighbors. It deals with questions about the all, the whole of existence. Where do we come from? Where are we headed? Our faith, our morality, ethics, philosophy. Gemini energy is the lower mind in the sense that we wake up and we go on about our daily routines. Sag energy is our higher mind. We wake up with existential questions and we're looking for higher meanings in our daily interactions. So the controversial story of how the Kardashians came to be is that basically Kim made a sex tape with a very famous and influential rapper named Ray J. The tape ended up getting leaked. Now, there's a lot of information out there that says that, the tape was allegedly planned, and going further than that and claiming that Kris pushed the tape to get leaked because at the time she was looking for a network to pick up their family reality show. Mind you, in that era, sex tapes were a gateway to becoming famous. She saw the tape as an opportunity. As the manager of the family, it's clear that Kris Jenner had a major hand in the absence of ethics in the business brands. While with Kim, it was the sex tape as well as the Playboy magazine shortly after. With Kylie, it was misleading a whole generation of young and impressionable girls, going through surgery, then lying about it, and having a whole generation of teenage girls believe that they could achieve the same results with the lip kit. As well as, pushing out the very toxic message that you need to alter your body to feel beautiful.
Anything really supportive or?
Yeah, on the show, my mom basically begged me to do it.
She did? Okay, great.
Our dad loves it, Bruce.
It all comes down to this. Essentially, we're all individually responsible for our spiritual progress. It's unfortunate that some of us are not blessed with good and evolved role models. Some of us model ourselves behind people that operate entirely from the lower mind. But despite mainstream media's attempts of corrupting the youth, because, they're the ones that are the most impressionable and vulnerable, there comes a time in a person's life when they're able to discern between right and wrong. You have the will and power to determine what you consume from mainstream media. While Kris Jenner, had complete authority over her kids while growing up, they're now old enough to know what is morally correct and furthering and what is not. It's whether the grown adults are willing to separate from the past and change their narrative for their own soul's spiritual progress. Whether they continue to leave this lifestyle devoid of meaning and value, or they make the greatest turnaround, not just for themselves, but the millions of women they influence on social media, is entirely their call. Transcending our ego and embracing and accepting our flaws and feeling beautiful despite our insecurity is part of the journey of transcendence.